It was late afternoon when Emily, Jason, and Liam reached the edge of the forest. The sun hung low, casting long, twisted shadows across the undergrowth. Through the trees, they saw the house. Tall, foreboding, its windows dark, paint peeling, the roof sagging, ivy crawled up its sides, twisting into grotesque shapes against the brick walls. The air was heavy, damp, carrying the faint smell of decay. Emily shivered. "It looks worse than the pictures," she whispered, her voice almost lost in the rustling leaves. She adjusted her backpack and stepped closer, the ground soft beneath her boots. Jason laughed nervously. "Come on, don't chicken out now. We came all this way. This is exactly what we wanted." His flashlight cut through the dimming light, bouncing across the walls of the house. Liam remained silent, eyes scanning the forest behind them. "It's too quiet. No birds, no wind, nothing. It's like the world stopped here." They reached the front steps, wood-rotted, creaking under their weight. Each step sounded unnaturally loud, echoing into the house. At the door, Emily hesitated. A cold draft seeped from the gaps, the door half off its hinges, swinging slightly. Jason shoved it open. The door protested with a long groan. Dust floated in the shafts of light. The musty smell of decay filled the air. "See? Nothing scary yet," Jason whispered, stepping inside. The floor sagged under their weight. Emily followed, flashlight in hand, scanning the interior. The foyer was small, wallpaper peeling in strips, faded patterns barely visible. Old furniture lay scattered, covered in dust and cobwebs. A grand mirror hung crooked on the wall, surface cracked. Emily thought she saw a shadow move in the reflection, but it vanished when she blinked. "Probably just the light," she said, forcing a laugh. Jason moved ahead, exploring the hallway, each room colder than the last, as if the house was drawing warmth from their bodies. Liam's flashlight flickered for a moment. He thought he saw the figure of a girl at the end of the hall, then gone. "Did you see that?" he whispered, barely audible. "See what?" Emily asked. "Nothing, only peeling wallpaper, shadows stretching across the floor." Jason grinned. "Relax, your mind plays tricks in places like this." They entered the living room. Dust motes danced in the weak light. A cold fireplace. Old furniture scattered, a dark, crusted stain on the rug. Emily stepped closer. Jason noticed a faint whispering from the hallway, almost imperceptible, like a breath against skin. They froze, straining to hear. Whispering grew louder, rhythmic, repeating, "Leave, leave, leave." Emily swallowed hard. "That's impossible," she said, hand tightening on the flashlight. "It's just the wind, right?" But the whisper continued, insistent, circling around them. Temperature dropped, their breath visible in the air. Liam stepped back, tripping over a chair. "No, we should leave, now." Jason frowned. "Wait, check the next room. We're already here. We can't chicken out yet." They moved cautiously, whispering following, growing louder. Light from flashlights flickered, casting long shadows. Each door revealed more decay. Fleeting glimpses hinted at movement, something watching. Emily picked up a cracked doll, its eyes wide, glassy, staring into nothing. She shivered. "It feels wrong," she whispered. Above them, a sudden crash. Plaster fell from the ceiling, heavy, deliberate. Silence, then scratching at the door, slow circling. "Who's there?" Jason called. No answer, just scratching, rhythmic, maddening. Liam whispered, "It's not human." Emily's curiosity held her. She had to know. Jason motioned to the stairs, ascending slowly, steps protesting, whispering and scratching rising with them, air colder, heavier. At the top, hallway stretched, darker, doors crooked, faint light at the end, smell of decay mixed with metallic sharpness. Emily stepped forward, floorboards groaned, fleeting moment. She saw a pale girl, motionless, dark hollow eyes. She gasped, figure vanished before Jason or Liam could see it, whispering louder, chanting, pleading, "Leave, leave, leave, you don't belong here." Jason faltered, maybe we should go." Liam nodded, "Yes, now." Before they could turn, door at the far end slammed shut, echoing like a gunshot. The hallway stretched before them, long and oppressive, shadows crawling along the walls, whispering circling in their ears. Emily clutched her flashlight tighter, each breath visible in the cold air. Jason and Liam followed, hesitant, every instinct screaming to turn back, but curiosity rooted them forward. The first door on the left creaked as they pushed it open, a room frozen in time, dust covering furniture, curtains hanging like tattered wings, old photographs scattered on the floor. Emily bent down, picking up one photo, a family, smiling, but the father's eyes scratched out, deep black hollows staring back at them. She shivered. It feels wrong. Jason tried to laugh weakly. Haunted dollhouse material, perfect for a TikTok. But the words sounded hollow. The room felt alive, as if it was breathing. A sudden crash from the floor above made them jump, plaster falling, the ceiling groaning, then slow, deliberate scratching at the door, circling, moving, approaching. "Who's there?" Jason called, voice cracking. Only the scratching responded. Liam whispered, "It's not human, something's here." They turned to leave, but the hallway seemed longer, distorted, doors twisting as they passed, the whispering rising, insistent. "Leave, leave, leave, you don't belong here." Each room they entered grew colder, darker, the air thick. Emily's flashlight illuminated peeling wallpaper, broken furniture, dust-covered toys. Shadows flickered in the corners, always at the edge of vision. In a bedroom, drawers pulled open, a small bed sagging, floor littered with broken toys. Emily picked up a small, cracked doll, its eyes glassy, staring, unblinking. She placed it down slowly and felt a tug on her shoulder, spinning. Nothing there, only shadows shifting. Jason led them to the living room, the fireplace cold and black, dust floating in the flashlight beams. A rocking chair swayed slowly, though no one touched it, floorboards intact, no footprints. The shadows seemed to thicken, watching, waiting. The whispering merged with a faint giggle, melodic, wrong. "Why are you here?" Emily's skin crawled. The windows rattled violently. The air thickened, metallic, sharp, like blood. Liam's flashlight trembled. He pointed to the far corner. Shadows thickened. A figure slowly took form, pale, translucent, impossibly tall, eyes hollow, head tilted, watching silently. Emily wanted to scream, but no sound came. Jason tried to step back. The floor seemed to grip his boots, the figure unmoving, yet alive, aware. Emily took a hesitant step. We should leave," she whispered, voice cracking. The figure blinked once, slowly, deliberately. The whispering changed pitch, louder, insistent. The temperature dropped sharply. Frost formed on the window edges. The rocking chair stopped. Silence, except their ragged breathing. Then, a door slammed above them. Dust fell. Floorboards groaned. Shadows twisted and merged. Emily noticed multiple shadows of the figure now cast across the walls, moving independently, mocking them, closing in. Jason whispered, "Let's stick together, make it back to the stairs." The words felt hollow. The hallway stretched impossibly, doors gone, walls bending, every step heavier, gravity shifting. Emily tripped over a pile of old clothing. It moved, breathing. A soft moan escaped, echoing, joining the whispers. "Leave, leave, you don't belong." Suddenly, the figure took a slow step, shadows elongating, twisting, reaching, the air thick, pressing against their chests. Emily's flashlight slipped, clattering across the floor, swallowed by darkness. Jason grabbed her arm. "Run!" They bolted, hallways twisted, doors slammed behind them, whispering and giggles echoing. The figure unseen, presence pressing closer, suffocating. They reached the staircase, relief, maybe the way out. But the steps stretched impossibly long, each one heavier, air colder, whispering overlapping, their own pounding hearts. Emily's mind raced. Every instinct screamed to escape. Yet curiosity lingered. What was in this house? What had followed them from the shadows? Every door, every corner, every reflection felt alive, watching, waiting. Liam stumbled, grasping the railing. "We have to move, we can't stop." Emily nodded, flashlight trembling. Jason led the way. But the house resisted, walls bending, stairs elongating, shadows twisting in impossible angles. They glimpsed movement in the darkness, figures shifting, faces appearing and vanishing, eyes hollow and hungry, always watching, following, whispering, "Leave, leave, leave, you don't belong here." Emily tried to focus, each breath fogging in the cold air, every shadow, every sound amplified. The house itself seemed to pulse, alive, sentient, aware of them. A sudden crash above, plaster falling, ceiling groaning, footsteps, slow, deliberate, circling them. Emily's heart pounded. She felt the tug again, like invisible fingers brushing her shoulder. Jason shouted, "Just keep moving." They ran, twisted, turned corners, hallways bending, doors disappearing, the whispering growing louder, closer, more insistent. At last, a faint light below, stairs. The way out? But even the stairs seemed different, taller, longer, impossibly steep, shadows pooling along each step, breathing with them. They descended slowly, each step echoing, every shadow reaching, whispering, overlapping with pounding hearts. Emily glanced back, figure no longer visible, yet presence still there, always watching. The basement door loomed below, dark, foreboding. Something drew them forward, fear and curiosity battling, every instinct warning, yet the need to see, to know pushed them toward the unknown, and the whispers never stopping. Leave, leave, leave. You don't belong here, you don't belong here. The stairs ended in darkness, a basement they hadn't noticed before. Cold, damp, the walls lined with strange symbols, painted, scratched, glowing faintly in the dim light. The smell of iron, sharp, metallic, like blood. Emily, Jason, and Liam huddled together, flashlight beams trembling. The shadows seemed to pulse, merge, stretch toward them, every instinct screaming to run. But the house had other plans. In the center of the room, a large mirror reflected not their faces, but a room filled with shadows, figures standing behind them, watching, waiting. Emily gasped. Jason's flashlight flickered, then died, plunging them into darkness. The whispers erupted, a cacophony of voices overlapping. Leave, leave, leave. You don't belong here. You don't belong here. Emily could barely breathe, heart hammering. Liam grabbed her hand, dragging her toward what he hoped was an exit. But the basement stretched endlessly, walls bending, each step heavier. Shadows moving independently, faces appearing and disappearing, eyes hollow, hungry, reaching. Suddenly, the floor beneath them creaked sharply. A shadow lunged from the corner. Emily screamed. Jason grabbed a piece of broken wood, swung. The shadow dissolved into smoke. The air grew colder, their breath fogging. Whispers became a chorus, screams, pleading, echoing from all directions. The shadows thickened, twisting around them, forming grotesque shapes. Emily felt pressure on her chest, suffocating. Jason pointed. The stairs! That's the way out! They ran, shadows pressing closer, whispering louder, echoing. You don't belong here. Each step seemed to stretch, the basement never ending. A figure emerged, tall, translucent, impossibly eyes hollow, staring at them. It tilted its head, observing silently. Emily's flashlight clattering, swallowed by darkness. Jason grabbed her arm. Run! The walls shifted, twisted. Hallways seemed to bend into themselves. Doors appeared, then disappeared. The house alive, resisting. The air thick with cold, metallic tang. Emily's mind spun, fear and disbelief battling. They reached the stairwell. It seemed taller, longer, each step a struggle. The shadows pooling along the edges, whispering, following, overlapping with the pounding of their hearts. Halfway down, Emily glanced back. The figure no longer visible, yet presence remained, watching, patient, relentless. Every instinct screamed they were not alone. They reached a landing, a faint light ahead. The exit? Hope surged. But the house's whispers intensified. Leave, leave, leave. You don't belong here. A door slammed above. Dust fell from the ceiling. A soft, dragging sound circled behind them. Deliberate, impossible to ignore. Jason urged, keep moving. They bolted down the remaining stairs, shadows stretching toward them, merging, twisting, reaching. Emily stumbled. Liam grabbed her, pulling her forward. At last, the basement door, heavy, cold, metallic. Jason shoved it open. A rush of fresh air hit them. The forest outside, sunlight breaking through the trees. They stumbled onto the ground, gasping, hearts hammering, backs wet with sweat, breath ragged. The house loomed behind them, silent, still, but Emily could feel it, waiting, always waiting. The whispering faded, but the sensation of eyes unseen pressing down lingered. Emily looked back, a window, curtains swaying, shadows moving inside, watching, patient, waiting for the next intruders. They ran without looking back, through the forest, tripping over roots, branches scratching faces, until the house disappeared from view, swallowed by the trees. Hours later, at a roadside diner, they sat in silence, sipping coffee, trying to calm racing hearts. Jason finally spoke. I don't know what that was. Emily nodded, still trembling. Liam shivered. It wasn't just a house. It knew we were there. No one said more. They didn't need to. The memory of the shadows, the whispers, the figure with hollow eyes would haunt them forever. Emily knew deep down, the house wasn't finished. It never would be. Apartment 3B, the house, it waited for anyone curious enough to enter, anyone who heard the whispers, felt the shadows, and didn't belong there. And even now, as they drove away, Emily felt the pull, a soft tug at her shoulder, almost like a memory. Almost real, a whisper in the back of her mind, leave, 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 you don't belong here. The house remained alive, patient, watching, waiting for the next ones.